Everybody loves pizza. And if you've raised kids, how many times have you heard the words, "Can we just order a pizza tonight?" Today, I'm going to show you how to make 2 crispy, thin crust pizzas from scratch in less than 40 minutes. Let's get started. The kind of pizza I'm making today is officially known as St. Louis style pizza. And out in St. Louis, it's known for its super thin, super crispy, almost cracker-like crust. So what makes St. Louis style pizza different from New York City's famous thin crust pizza? This dough contains no yeast. It's made with baking powder, and that's what's going to allow us to get it into the oven really fast today. What I'm whisking together in this bowl is 2 cups of all-purpose flour, a teaspoon of baking powder, and a ½ teaspoon each of sugar and salt. What I'm basically making here is self-rising flour. If you don't even want to go to this amount of trouble, you can buy a bag of self-rising flour. But remember, because there's baking powder in it, it means there's going to be an expiration date on it. So if you don't use a lot of it, you could end up throwing a pretty big bag of flour away. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to add a ½ cup of warm water to my mix and 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. I'm going to take my impeccably clean hand and I'm going to begin whisking the dry ingredients into the wet ingredients, turning the bowl as I go. And this is a little messy at first, but this dough is so easy to work with. Now, as you can see, I'm gathering it together to form a nice wet mass. And once I get it into a wet mass, what I'm doing is I'm pushing down on it with the heel of my hand and turning and pushing, and that's called kneading the dough. And as soon as this forms a solid ball, and we're coming up on that very quickly, almost done. Here we go. Nice solid ball. I'm going to wash my hands, cover this with plastic wrap, and set it aside for 10 minutes to rest, which is going to make the dough really elastic and easy to put into our pizza pans. I uncovered my dough, cut it in half, and I put it on 2 standard-sized pizza pans that had been oiled with just a little tablespoon or 2 of olive oil. Now you can pat this dough out with your fingertips, but if you have one of these handy-dandy little rollers, I have to tell you, it really makes quick work of this. You can get both of these crusts into 2 pans in, I'm going to say almost, well, it's at least less than 5 minutes, not less than 2 minutes. But once you get your dough into the corners into the pan, you just want to take your fingertips, pat it all the way around the sides. You want to bring it up to make your standard little pizza crust lip around the outsides. And I don't know if the camera can get a good shot of this, but you can see how thin, almost see-through this dough is. And now we're ready for our toppings. You can put any kind of pizza sauce on a St. Louis style pizza that you want. But the only thing you can't do is put too much sauce on. 1/3 to a ½ cup maximum, because the crust is so thin. You can also put any kind of cheese on a St. Louis style pizza that you want, but if you want it to be authentic, you're going to do a mixture of grated white cheddar, grated baby Swiss, and grated provolone. And if you live anywhere around St. Louis, they market a whole blend of that cheese, and it's called Provel, and you can buy it in blocks just like this or grated in bags. I'm going to put at least 1.5 cups of cheese on the top of this pizza. Maybe 2 cups. I have about 4 cups in here. I'm going to save half for the other one. and wait till you taste this blend. And another thing authentic St. Louis style pizza doesn't do, they don't use Parmesan or Parmigiano Reggiano. They depend on the flavors of these three cheeses. I think that looks like enough. I'm making 2 pizzas tonight. The first one is going to be topped with black olives because my grandson is coming to town, and that's his favorite topping. And when I top my second pizza, that one's going to be all pepperoni because that's my son's favorite topping. So now I'm going to put this one in a 350-degree oven for about 12 minutes, and while it's baking, I'm going to top my second pizza. Unlike the thin crust New York style pizza I mentioned earlier, this pizza is too thin to be cut into wedges and picked up and folded in half to eat. It's so crispy, they cut it into squares. And as they say in St. Louis, dare to be square. This pizza's beyond compare. For these and all of my recipes, just go to my website.